Hi everyone, today's demo will showcase the usability of virtual workloads from remote locations. This is made possible with Citrix virtual apps and desktops. The environment in this demo was built for NWU to enable students remote access to the on-campus lab environments. This is one of the use cases, but there are multiple other use cases that the solution was designed for. To keep the demo relatively short, we'll focus on the use case mentioned above. For those of you that aren't familiar with the product, Virtual Apps and Desktops provides virtualization solutions that give IT control of virtual machines, apps, and security while providing anywhere access for any device. End users can use applications and desktops independently of the device's operating system and interface. This allows you to access native Microsoft applications on a Linux or Mac-based system. I'm using this as an example, but the technology basically allows you to use any application on any device from any remote location. So I'm going to bring up an infrastructure diagram. I'm not going to go into too much technical detail. This is basically just to give you a general idea of the infrastructure components involved in a solution like this. And these are typically split up into the four main pillars. Your user layer, was basically your end user or his end device. Your access layer, where users get authenticated before they're allowed access to any resources. Your resource layer, which is basically any resources that's been published to your users, and your control layer, which comprises of your delivery controllers and your site database and licensing and those sort of things. So when a user connects, the user will typically land on the Citrix ADC, formerly known as NetScaler Gateway. This is where the user will be authenticated, and this is typically done through LDAP before being passed to the internal portion of the network. Now, it's important to note that the ADC supports multiple authentication mechanisms, as well as multi-factor authentication if that is a requirement for your environment. So once the user is authenticated, he or she gets passed to the storefront application portal, where the user will then be presented with resources that's been published to that particular account or the group that the user belongs to. And then from there, the user can launch his applications or desktop, whichever the case may be. Now, it's important just to note that all traffic is SSL encrypted, which makes it relatively secure. Right, so with the theory out of the way, let's connect into the environment. Now, this login page that you see here is the login portal hosted on the Citrix ADC. We are authenticating to LDAP here, and then once we are authenticated, we are presented with resources that's been published to our particular user account. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and launch my lab desktop. Right, so here I'm logged into my remote lab desktop, which is hosted in the NWU data center. And then from here, I've got access to all my applications that's been installed on this particular application server. So from here, I can go and launch my applications. So let's open Excel. Following two applications. So from what you can see, the user experience is very good. It's as good as it would be as if you were sitting in front of a physical machine on the network. So Typically, an important factor in environments like this is the user experience as well as multimedia content delivery. So for that, let's just show you what a multimedia video would look like over an ICA session of this nature.
Expectations are shifting for both businesses and employees. A new generation of workers expect to be able to work the way they want, and no matter your industry, your customers expect on-demand, always-on service. How is your IT department keeping up with these new challenges? Are you creating a flexible, secure, and responsive work environment for your teams to succeed? With Citrix virtual apps and desktops, you can. Imagine a world where your team can work from any public cloud, on-premises or hybrid environment, and have an exceptional end-user experience on any device and any type of connection. Citrix virtual apps and desktops, the solution by itself or as a service within Citrix Workspace, gives you the power to rapidly provision new apps and desktops to thousands of users in minutes, with central management in a single console. An advanced set of security policies helps you meet the most stringent compliance standards and regulatory controls, keeping your data secure while providing the right level of access for each user. The ability for your team to work securely from anywhere means resilience in a chaotic world and meeting the constant needs of your customers. Whether you are enabling your current workforce or onboarding new employees, give the best possible experience to your users without compromises. Citrix virtual apps and desktops, your highway to a modern, digital, and connected workplace.
Cool. So that's a high definition video stream over my remote internet connection. As you can see, there's no noticeable degradation in user experience or performance. Now, obviously, there are mechanisms that we can put in place to compress the protocol even further, but obviously there is a user experience trade-off when you configure those sort of policies. But generally speaking, this is the kind of performance that you can expect from a remote session. So fairly responsive, pretty much the same experience that you would have sitting physically in front of this machine. Only difference being that we're delivering this via a remote connection over public internet infrastructure. Thank you for watching.